Hi everyone, good afternoon and happy hump day. I'm a little bit early tonight, so I'm just going to wait a couple of minutes. If you're on early, thank you. Sorry for the time changes. It's been a very, very big week. Alright, looks like I will just get started. You have to excuse me, I'm a little bit husky at the moment. I'm not sick, I've just had a bit of trouble with migraines and my back and stuff this week, so it always takes it out of me, and for some reason I go really husky. So thank you so much for being here again tonight. This is week 3 now, and I've had a lot of positive feedback. I get a lot of messages every week asking if I'm still going to do it. So yes, I will be here every week, even if no one else is here. So thank you if you have watched religiously every week. I've been getting a lot of followers on my YouTube as well. People that can't make it tonight will go and watch it on YouTube. So that's really cool. I'm glad that it is effective in one way or another. So we'll start off with a catch-up this week on how my last week has gone. It's been quite a few changes, quite a few good ones, a few roadblocks like there always is. So I think I've lost like a kilo since last week, so you know, a good move for a week's time, but at the same time I wasn't focusing on losing any weight, I was more so focusing on maintaining. So I guess like a loss is always great, I'm not going to complain about that. I'm feeling really like flat and like really evened out in my torso area, which is really cool. I sent him like a photo of a week apart like today, and even he freaked out and was like, your stomach's just getting so flat. And I guess like people have always said like abs are made in the kitchen, and well, obviously it's a little while before I get any abs, but the point is that it's what you put into your body obviously affects like the fat. I'm sorry, I have hair everywhere today. Obviously like affects the way that the fat sits around your organs and stuff. So if you're putting good food into your body, then obviously like the rest will kind of follow, and obviously my torso is absolutely loving it because that's where I've lost most of my weight from. So I'm currently sitting at 97.4 kilos, which like that's still quite high. Like obviously I'm still in the obese class 1, but I have lost a total of 15 kilos flat as of today. And that absolutely shocks me, because I came in for the first round thinking 10 kilo increments would be good. Even if I didn't make 10 kilos, as long as I was changing the way that I was eating, I would be happy. So to hit 15 kilos this morning and see 97 in my head resonates like with all the times that I've tried to lose weight and tried to do things. Hi, Mrs. Fifi. I would always start around 100 kilos and then, I would, thanks mum. I would get down to crack 97 and I'd be like, oh, this is cool. It's really going. Then I would get to 95 and I would be like, oh yeah, cool. I'm done now. 5 kilos is 5 kilos. But to lose 15 kilos and to crack that 97 and come so far, I think my body is definitely in a better shape now than it ever has been. So I can only see myself going forward from here, and I'm excited for that. So this week, most of you know, and I've posted a couple of times on my story, but I don't like to sook too much. So on the weekend I had my expo for work, the America's Travel Expo. Expos are my favourite times of the year. It's really busy with lots of forward planning, especially because I work in the CBD in Perth, and I work in a corporate building, so I still work in retail, but it's a little bit different the way that it runs. And basically Sunday is just a crazy day for everyone. Unfortunately, they supply food for everyone, but even if you put in you're gluten-free or whatever, you just get gluten-free bread, or you'll just get a salad or something like that, but you don't really get time to eat. So I took some apples and a punnet of cherry tomatoes, and I think it got to 3 o'clock and I was my body was shaking, I felt sick, I was really nauseous, and I was I need to go and eat something. So I went and sculled a 600ml bottle of water and ate a whole punnet of cherry tomatoes. And then I was cool, I have an hour left, this is fine. And I took my glasses, but I've been having issues and I've had my prescription changed and my new glasses hadn't arrived yet. And so I was wearing my old ones, which was fine, but I was moving around from computer to the floor, and I just kept forgetting to take them with me every time I moved. I don't like wearing them if I'm not in front of the computer, even though I'm supposed to, but I just didn't want to. So I ended up getting on the train about 4:30 that afternoon with the biggest migraine, and like the whole ride home I was just like, oh, this is so stupid. Like I just felt like shit, so I kept trying to like down some water and was hoping to feel better. And I seemed okay. And then I was on lates on Monday, so it was good. I had a good sleep in, and then went to work, and I was okay on Monday at work. That was like kind of coming and going, but I was just getting a lot of like tightness through my neck, which normally happens when I get migraines. It's stupid. It goes from here to here to here, always my right side. So I went back into work on Tuesday, and I was probably about 2 hours into my shift, and I think my migraine medication wore off, and I was like, no, I can't do it anymore. And for me to not be at work is a big thing, so I came home, put myself in a dark room, had a shower, and just got into bed early, did all that. And I'm not complaining, and I'm not sooking, and I'm not looking for sympathy. I'm just letting you guys know that it's not all unicorns and butterflies. But yeah, and then this morning I woke up and I just couldn't move. I couldn't get myself out of bed. I was just so tight and so stiff through here. And like I said, you can just hear it. Like I'm so knackered. I just can't sleep properly, and I'm like awake during the night, and then as soon as it gets to time to get up in the morning, I eventually want to sleep because I'm so knackered. But I've got one more day of work left tomorrow, and then I'm on holidays, so I definitely want to go to work tomorrow so I can finish off some stuff, contact some customers that I need to, and set myself up because I won't be there for 10 days. So I'm looking forward to that, but at the same time, like I like being at work. I'm one of those people. So that was that. I went to my chiropractor today, and I had the new guy, as mine and Jodie's chiropractor has moved to New South Wales. So this has been the second change in like 2 years for us. He's a young dude, and he was great. Like I had a really great outcome. The last chiropractor had left notes in there to check in on how I was going with my weight loss and whatnot. And I hadn't been for a few months since like before Europe. So I, said, oh yeah, I'm going to try and lose weight, but I hadn't done anything. And Adam was a really big inspiration for me, so I'm kind of devastated that he's gone, because when I first told him that I was on this journey to try and lose all this weight, he was like, oh, I used to weigh over 100 kilos, like I'm down to like 65 kilos now. And I was like, oh wow, so you do understand. It's really confronting when you meet like a really fit person and you're like, oh my god, like this is my chiropractor, like this is embarrassing, like I'm this little like fat mess, and he's got to like poke and prod my bits. That sound was so bad. My back and my hips, I should say. And it's kind of like intimidating, but at the same time, they're a doctor, they're there for a reason. Anyway, so I had this new guy today, and he was really great. He did a lot of manual adjusting, so it was a lot of like neck cracking and like back cracking and stuff. And I got off the bed and felt amazing. Like I felt so light. I just felt like I was really tall, and like everything had just sat how it should. My neck's even sorer now though, because he literally has his fingers like right in my neck, and then I swear he's like elbow deep. I'm going to say in my butt, but in my butt cheek when he does that. I said it last week about my hips being out of place all the time, and normally I have about a 12 centimetre tilt, and it's just from me sitting on the chair at work weirdly, or standing with like a lean to the side. And so, I mean, you can kind of still see now, but I'm still really uneven in my traps. So what generally happens is this one collapses a lot. I have problems with a lot of my muscles collapsing, so this one here stays like fine, and then this one here tends to collapse. So this is me just sitting up nice and straight. It's not as bad anymore because I've had it like worked on and fixed today, but you can see this one is still quite collapsed. What generally happens is it stops working. It's because I type so much, it gets so tight that it just stops working, and then it just shoots up through the back of my ear into my eyes, and then I just end up with migraines. And then basically my back ends up playing up because I'm trying to like favour my shoulders. It's a whole pile of mess. But anyway, I feel better now. It's fixed, and it was like a shit start to the week, but I feel good. I'm excited to go into work tomorrow and work a whole day and like just deal with it. The only really bad outcome of it was that unfortunately both of my gluteus maximus, my main glute muscles, have both collapsed and they've stopped firing. So unfortunately that's just a mixture of me, like I obviously I'm gone from hairdressing to a travel agent, so I sit down all the time now. Hey Britt, thanks for joining. So I sit down quite a lot now, and like I try and go for walks and stuff. I try and take the stairs at work if I can, but it just like it hurts my hips, so I don't do it. And then now, unfortunately, both of my glutes have collapsed. So what that means is I need to be focusing on my restorative exercises, and I'm going to touch base on that down the track because it's something that I like really want everyone to know about and realize that you don't have to go to the gym and do like high intensity training to actually do something. Like restorative exercise is fine as long as you're moving. So we'll touch base on that later, and I'll explain to you guys about TheraBand workouts and stuff like that. But yeah, so good week. Like I said, I woke up this morning and I was like, oh, 15 kilos, like that's insane. And I kind of had in my head at the beginning, like, oh, I'd love to be 15 kilos down by the time I go to Melbourne. And like that's happened, and I wasn't intentional. Like I said, I wanted to maintain that 14 kilos, but that extra kilo is great. And I've been testing foods as well. So it's good to know that it's definitely working for my body and I've not been sick, which is awesome. So phase 4 testing. Last time I spoke to you guys, I was about to test avocado. Avocado is not my friend. I was so gassy and like woke up needing to go to the toilet and was just like so terrible. So say no to avo basically. But that's okay. Like it could have been worse. I wasn't really a huge avocado fan before anyway. And I know Karen that follows, if she sees it, she's gonna probably punch me through the phone because she was the one that said to me, what planet are you from? Because I wasn't an avocado fan about that. But I just I just wasn't really one before. I like eating it, it wasn't part of my main diet anyway. So far say no to avo. So far no avocado, no cauliflower, no leeks, no eggs. Testing so far for like butter, I ended up testing butter again just after I had my time of the month, and that was fine. Coconut oil's been fine. I've been eating cacao nibs like every day with my strawberries, and like that's been perfect. I tested those like a couple of days after I finished my time of the month, just to sort of see, and it was fine. So even coconut flakes, I seem to have been doing really well with coconut like products, and I'm really excited because I love coconut. So tonight I tested coconut milk. I made like a little curry sort of thing, so it's just coconut milk with some chicken and whatnot. I'll touch base about that later. The only thing I didn't think of is the fact that I literally got absolutely hammered at chiro today, and I'm probably not going to be able to walk tomorrow, and I'm going to be so inflamed. And then I went and tested like coconut milk, so I'm going to go by like gut feeling from this, and it's been about 20 minutes to half an hour, and I feel fine now. So I'll see how I go like during the night, and when I wake up I'm still going to weigh in the morning and see. I mean, I might not have a huge inflammation from my chiro appointment today, but like I got absolutely battered, so I'm imagining that there will be. So I'm just trying to drink heaps of water, get all those toxins out of my body, because when you do chiro that brings them all to the surface. Skin's still suffering with that. Yeah, I probably could have a bath, mum, because I probably would fit in the bath now, but it's just too cold. I can't be bothered. So I'm just going to have a really hot shower after this and just really focus the shower head like on my neck and through to my hips. Expect some photos on my story over the next couple of days, because I get some mega bruising when I've been to chiro, because like I'm not even kidding. Like, you know, you've got like your waist, and then like your hips kind of come out, and then you've got like your thighs, and that dip that's right in your, most people call it like the flanks of your hips. So you've got the flanks on your back, then you've got that bit that dips in around your hips. I could totally just stand up and show you, but I'm really comfy. And he literally like was like, oh, like elbows in there, and then like his thumb just till he touches my bone basically. And like I'm not a sook, but I basically like it brings me to tears, and I don't tell him to stop ever because I know that it's worth it, but it's like half an hour of agony and I just hate it so much. But like I said, it fixes it. So that's that. I am going to be testing rock melon next, so in a couple of days, see how we go with this coconut cream. Milk. I tried milk. Then I'm going to be testing rock melon. So while I'm on holidays, it'll be good because I'll be able to like test a few things and see how I go. So I'm going to test rock melon, pumpkin, bacon, and feta, and then that'll take me to the end of my holidays. I'll be coming home next Sunday, and that'll be like day 69 for me. So that's literally the end of this whole round. So I'm stoked to be where I am now. I can't wait to see like what the end of the round will bring, and I'm really looking forward to the 3 weeks, like the middle 3 weeks between then and my next round. So yeah, I'm like really excited for all that. I wanted to talk a little bit about work-life balance. I can't even English today. A couple of you girls are on here from work. Hello. Hi, Bethan. And so, like, this is something that gets spoken about in Flight Centre quite a lot, having a good work-life balance, and they, like, push you to take annual leave all the time, which is good. But I do get a lot of my friends that go, oh, I wish I could take annual leave all the time, or I wish I could do that. I don't. Like, I had 5 weeks off at the beginning of the year, but only 13 days of that was annual leave. And that was because I sit down and look at a calendar and work it out really well to make sure that I can get, like, weekends, public holidays and everything in there. So I work it out really well where I have, like, a good chunk off every year. So next year when I go to Thailand, I'll be having probably minimum 3 weeks, maximum 4 weeks off work. So obviously having surgery is a completely different story, but that's what I'm focusing on for there. So yeah, I think if you have annual leave, like, use it wisely. I know some companies you can't have weekends off and you can't do this and you can't do that, but I know every company has, like, different perks, and if it means that you take, like, a week off every 3 months because you've that's basically what you earn a week every 3 months in most full-time jobs, then do it. If you can save your RDOs and have, like, a Friday and a Monday off so you can get a long weekend every now and again, do it. Like, I work, like, a lot of days in a row, especially with Tim being FIFO, and basically it just means that when I, yeah, JT's, it just basically means that when he's home, I could have a Friday and a Monday off and I end up with 4 days off with him. So, you know, and it's nice, like, we don't go away all the time and we don't do, like, lots of things, but it's time for us to do things around the house together, and then we might go out once, and just catch up with friends and stuff, and, like, that works for us. So, even though I go on holidays all the time, or, like, work holidays, whatever you want to call it, this is probably Tim's, like, one and only holiday this year. We went to Bali together in November, and then, like, this is his holiday, like, now. So he doesn't like taking annual leave. He's not much of a traveller, but with, like, he will come next year. He's really excited for Thailand next year, so that'll be good. But yeah, I think it's really important to take time off, like, more so for, like, your mental clarity, more so just to, like, get out of that headspace and sort of, like, forget about work for a while. And if you have jobs like, you know, like office jobs, like with us, we're very client based, so they have our mobile numbers, they have access to us 24/7. We're constantly checking our emails, like, and it's ridiculous. So you really have to make an effort to find your way to disconnect. Like, you really need to find a way to disconnect, and that's why I wanted to talk about the restorative exercise part of things today, because I think that can really, really help if you struggle like me to like, settle down with things and, like, not think about the same things. Like, when I went to Europe, like, I checked my my work emails, like, every now and again, but I was like, you know what, no, I'm on holidays, and I made sure that I was super prepared. Like, it's all about preparation and organisation. So hi Jodes, that's okay. Thank you for joining. Yeah, so I think it's like work-life balance is a huge thing, and you need to focus on yourself, and at the end of the day, like, work's always going to be there, and you kind of have to decide, like, do you just live to work, or do you work so that you can live and do the things that you want to do? So I guess at the end of the day, like, only you can choose that. But yeah, so work-life balance is a big thing, and I would really love everyone to sort of, like, take a step back and do some self-reflection and try and figure out, like, how your work-life balance is, and think about the fact, do you actually have time for yourself, or are you someone like me who likes to go and get my eyebrows done in my lunch? Don't even look at them right now. I'm getting them done on Friday. Go and get your eyebrows done in your lunch break, rather than getting them done on your day off and actually enjoying that time to, you know, like, walk around and loosen up and, like, have it as, like, a pampering thing. I know we all struggle and we all, like, don't have time for things, but you need to make time for yourself, even if it's an hour, like, once a week. I'm sorry I'm fidgeting so much. I'm just quite sore. So holiday time. Am I excited? Yes, I'm really excited because I get to see my sister-in-law and my brother-in-law, but I'm more excited to see her. Don't tell him that. So my plans, basically, when Beck and Brendan are at work, Tim and I will just go and do our own thing. We'll just, like, catch the trams into the city and just probably, like, lots of walking. I'm still going to stick to testing my food. So for those of you who have said to me, oh, that's so good, you're going to Melbourne, like, the food's going to be amazing, rah, rah. It's not really going to be that, it's not going to be any different to what I'm doing now. I'm still going to be in a testing phase. I did it for Brisbane. I can do it for Melbourne. I am staying with them at their house, which makes it easier. And then we're going on a little staycation. So we're all going to drive out to Daylesford. If any of you are from that part of the East Coast, then you'll know that that's kind of like our like Kalamunda, Margaret River sort of thing combined, but like less wineries and more country. It's just really beautiful. So we've hired a beautiful retreat out there, and I think I mentioned this last week. So we're just looking forward to literally just disconnecting for 2 days, like no social media, and just really, really enjoying it. To the best that we can. Like we'll cook some beautiful food, sit by the fire and just really like unwind. And I think Tim and I especially both need that, because we don't do that together. We're always doing something like active, so in a non-sexual way, but you know what I'm trying to say. But yeah, so sticking to my testing, lots of walking, trying to like loosen up a little bit. No judgments, but I will be taking my scales with me, just because the testing phase is so important. And I know, like I've said that since day dot, for me especially, because I literally react to everything. I need to weigh myself every morning to see if I've gone up or gone down, see what those inflammations are. So the easiest way to do that is to take my scales. I know that Beck probably has scales as well, but it's just more so the fact that I'm leaving, like I'll weigh myself in the morning before I leave, and then like I weigh myself the next day there. But then if her scale's like 2 kilos out or something, because everyone's are different, then like that might throw me off. So I was like, I'll just take mine, and then it just makes it easier. I can just stay on track, and I'll just take it in my handbag. Like I don't even care, to be honest. I'll be taking all my favorite little snacks and stuff like that as well. So like my cacao nibs, some coconut flakes, take some coconut oil, just like little things that are all like jarred up that I can just take easily. I'm going to take all my supplements as well, so I can still like have my greens every day. I know the weather's quite cold and miserable at the moment here and in Melbourne, so if I can keep up on my greens and stuff like that, it just stop me from getting sick, I guess. Eating and flying, I really want to talk about this, because one of the questions I get all the time, especially because I fly a lot for work, is how do I cope with eating and flying? Well, I never had to worry about coping with it until my last trip just gone, and I did it twice, so I'm going to touch base on it now. I'm like an expert. No, I'm not. But basically, like if you're flying a red-eye flight, I look at it as in, like you don't eat during the night anyway. So if your flight doesn't leave till 10:45, 11 o'clock at night, then you should still stick to your normal eating schedule, and like you should have had dinner by then anyway. So it's good to like take some snacks on the plane, like, you could take some cut up apple, and as long as you eat your fruit by the time you get to the other side of the country, obviously like it's fine, as long as you're not taking it out with you. So you could take like some cut up apple, like you could take a container of like cut up strawberries with some coconut flakes and cacao nibs and stuff like that, so you've got some snacks. You could, even with your free vegetables and stuff like that, or now because I can mix vegetables, like I could take some like cut up cucumber or just anything like that, anything that in case I do get hungry. This time I'm not flying overnight. I'm actually flying out at 8 o'clock in the morning Perth time, so I'm going to be pretty hungry by the time I get there. So what I'm doing is I am actually going to have my green smoothie on the way to the airport, and then because I don't normally eat until like lunchtime anyway, I'm going to take some strawberries and apple chopped up with some coconut and some cacao nibs in there as well, so that I can eat that on the plane like a couple of hours later, and that's kind of like it until we get off the plane. And then once we get off the plane, I'll eat once I get to Beck and Brennan's. So like I don't think that it's that hard. Like it really shouldn't be that hard. Same as like if you're flying back at night time, like we leave there at 8:30 at night, we get to Perth at 10 p.m. So basically like I'm going to have dinner before I leave anyway, and then I might have a snack on the plane, but then like I'd be coming home and going to bed. So it's not like, oh, I have to eat. Like you don't have to eat on the plane. If you're traveling like international and you're going overseas and it's quite a long flight, like even to Bali, like I don't ever really eat on the plane to Bali anyway. Like I might buy a snack just for the sake of buying a snack, but I never order a meal, because I'm like, if I fly in the morning, I have breakfast at the airport. If I'm flying back like at lunchtime or in the afternoon, you're always going to eat at the airport. So I don't see, like, I feel like it's just a comfort thing for most people to eat on a plane. If you're going over to like Europe or something, same thing, like it is a hard one, but you could make like some like broth or something and put it in like a little container, or you can get like broth powders. So they work really, really well because obviously like they're there to like fill you up and sort of keep your metabolism going. But if you're getting on a plane at like 10 o'clock at night and it's a 12-hour flight, realistically, like, you're going to be going to sleep anyway, so you could take some packets of powdered broth so that you could just ask them for a cup of hot water and just make like a little soup or something while you're on the plane. As far as like fruit and stuff like that goes, I don't think you can take fruit on an international flight. But look, next time I do that, I will obviously cover off bases with you. I always call customs for these things all the time, so I'm sure I'll be able to figure it out. But as far as domestic travel goes from Australia, like the longest flight is like 5 hours or something like that. So, you know, it's enough time to like eat before you get on the plane, have a snack on the flight, and then eat when you get off the flight. So I'm not worried about it at all. I've done it before. Judging by how great I went in Brisbane, like, I think Melbourne will be just as great. So I'm really excited about that. All right, restorative exercise. How it can help you, what you can do, how often, what's involved. I'm literally going to cover off on all of that, and I'm going to do it as quickly as I can because I don't want to keep everyone so late tonight. All right, basically, restorative exercise is the most basic level of exercise. It's an alignment-based exercise and literally helps strengthen your joints. A lot of people, like, back from when I was training, osteoporosis, like, is a word that resonates in my head, and I think that's because, like, they tell you that the older you get, you should still keep exercising because it helps to do things like strengthen your bones, strengthen your joints, you know, all those sorts of things, and basically just keep everything sort of flowing and moving. You don't have to do high intensity interval training all the time, or you don't have to go and like run on a treadmill for 3 hours. Like, if that's how you want to train, then that's how you can train. I like to lift really heavy, so I can't wait to go back to the gym and start lifting, you know, and by the time I get to that, I will have hopefully lost like a decent amount of weight so that I can start toning certain areas, you know, and start focusing on certain muscle groups, and that can be quite hard to do. It's like a matching your mind and your muscle. But like, I haven't forgotten how to train. I haven't forgotten all of like the diagnostic things on how things work and how the motions and movements go. So I'm excited to get back to the gym. Hi Nat, thanks for joining. Yeah, I'm really excited to go back to the gym, but I'm also not stressed at the moment because I've literally lost 15 kilos just by eating food. Like, I haven't exercised, I've barely gone for walks because the weather's been so terrible the whole time. So you need to look for something that basically gets you up and gets you moving. So the biggest things would be things like yoga. You can do a really basic stretching yoga. You could do a flexibility yoga. Just something that's going to get you moving, tightening your core, like working on your core muscles, because you would be surprised, like, if your core is quite strong, like, you can hold yourself a lot better, so you're not using your back as much, or you're not like using your chest as much, because your core is the main part of your body that stabilizes you. So it's a big thing. And I love yoga. Like, my sister-in-law is a yoga instructor, I've mentioned before, so she got me into it, and like, as much as I haven't done it over the last like year or so, I got an app on my phone, so I have to start doing it. Basically, I have been given strict instructions. So it can help to relieve joint pain as well, which is a big thing for me, and hence why I got into yoga. So things like walking, you know, TheraBand exercise. If you that don't know what a TheraBand is, it's literally like a really stretchy piece of plastic. You can get all different types of strengths. This one's quite stretchy. It's only like, what did I get? I'm pretty sure red's only medium strength. So you can get like light, medium, and they go up to extra firm, so they go up to like heavy, blah blah blah, like everything in there. I don't even know which one I use, Beth, but it's like Yoga Studio or something like that. I can't remember. But so you can use these things in yoga for resistance. What I'm going to be doing with them is basically, if you could imagine standing up and like slightly squatting with your legs like slightly spread, so your knees are like just slightly bent, I'm going to be tying it around my legs, and then tying it up on the side, so it's going to be like this, and I'm basically going to be crab walking to the side and back again, and then I will be doing bridging bridges. So I'll be starting off with normal bridges, and I'm going to video some of this stuff when I do it as well so that everyone can see. But these things will help to strengthen my core. The crab walking to the side using the TheraBand, that my glutes will literally just keep firing the whole time, so it'll hurt. But if I can do that for 10 minutes a day for like over the next week, and then try and up it to 10 minutes twice a day, to the point where I can then do it for maybe 15 minutes without being in pain, and that'll just be a mixture of like the crab walking with the TheraBand, like some slight squatting, and then bridges, and then open leg bridges as well. That will definitely help a lot. Your glutes are one of your biggest muscles in your body, like we use them every day. We walk, we go up and down stairs. Every time you stand up and sit down, you're doing a squat, you're using your glutes. So for mine to not be working, like it puts me in a lot of pain. And that's why, like, the very first time I did my vlog, and I stood up to go, I wish I could have videoed it to show you guys, like, I basically had to drag myself into the kitchen to the table and try and pull myself up because my hips were just like, nah, not having it. So yeah, TheraBand exercises, fantastic if you can get a couple of different resistances. I always get really scared about them snapping, but no, I'm gonna get online and try and find something. These are only $6 from my chiro today, and like I said, they only had one resistance, so I'm going to see how it goes. But you can obviously wrap them right around your hands to pull the resistance more, whatever you want to do. But yeah, so restorative exercise will help anyone in any single part of their life get up, get moving, like get those joints like working. And the more that you do that, like it will just, your big muscle groups will absolutely thank you for it. Any of your muscle groups in general, as long as you're moving and getting that blood flowing, like I said, it can just be a brisk walk with a little bit of stretching when you get home. So you can actually get some really great stretching like charts online as well. I got one from Ella Fit and Active. I actually got it gifted to me, so I don't know how much they're worth, but you can get something to stick on your door. Like, it just makes it easier if you can see what you're doing, or you can get an app, whatever's going to work for you. So that's basically that. If you have any questions on it, please send me a message. I mean, like, obviously I'm not an expert, but I am trained in that field. So I do have, like a lot of exercises that I will recommend doing. But yeah, so see how you go. I will do a yoga tutorial over the next couple of weeks. I'll do a, the video that goes really, really fast, a time lapse of the yoga thing that I do. So it's about half an hour. And I'll just upload it just so you guys can kind of see, like, from there to, maybe in 6 months time, like how much difference it can actually make, because I literally can't stretch to save my life. Like, I can barely touch my toes. So, see how we go. My plans when I finish this round, I keep getting asked this a lot, because everyone's like, oh, is that the end of it for you? Like, you're on a break, you can just go and enjoy yourself, do what you want to do, rah rah. I'm like, no, this is where the real fun starts. Basically, I need to keep trialing foods. I want to enjoy my birthday, so my boss at work will be making me this amazing, like, gluten-free chocolate cake that she made. One of the other girls at celiac at my work, and like, out of all the cakes I could have had, like, I asked for that because I was just like, yeah, like, it'll be great. I'm excited. So I get to eat chocolate cake. I'm only going to have a small slice, but the fact is that I get to obviously, like, test it and see how it goes. I've tested cocoa and everything, so I'm really excited. Tim will be away, but then when he gets home, I'll be going into, like, my fat loading for my next round. So we'll be going to Brosiert, which is a German restaurant, and I think I've, like, told you guys already, and I'm really excited for that. So, like, my birthday can't come quick enough. I'm going to start exercising at that stage as well, because I won't be on the drops. I will obviously be still testing food. So the thing about starting to exercise is you do, like, your muscles and stuff inflame, and that can show on the scales. So you've just got to be really careful. If you're, like, exercising and trialing new foods that day, it might not give you an accurate measure. But basically, actually, yes, Mrs. O'Keefe, I can start trialing drinks. No, I'm going to, in my 3 weeks, try and find an organic preservative-free wine, because you can get those, and I will hopefully be having a glass of wine for my birthday and celebrating with my friends. So I'm really excited, because we're all going to do a big dinner the weekend that Tim's home for my birthday, so that'd be good if I can share a glass of wine. Basically, The TheraBand's going to be my lifesaver. I'll probably even keep this in my bag and take it to work with me, and just on my lunch break time, just have a bit of a stretch every now and again, because obviously it's going to kill me. Yeah, Jodes, notice how I said wine. Yeah, so that's going to be that. I might get into like a little bit more like high intensity training. I really like a quick, fast, like pace workout, something where I can just lift heavy, work quickly and get going. But I'll start using my body weight first. So we'll start getting that yoga done, start using the TheraBand, and then yeah, basically from there it'll just be a matter of focusing on like the changes in my body and seeing how my body reacts. But I have the Kayla It's Seen As app. She obviously is on Instagram. She's an absolute champion. I've loved watching her stuff for ages and watching all her transformations for girls that have done her program. So I don't know if it's something that I'll do like from start to finish, like do like the 12-week program or whatever it is, but having the app on my phone, it's like $20 a month. So it's like a quarter of the price for a membership to the gym, like anywhere around Perth, because you can pay from between $60 and $80 a month. If I can find a really cheap gym membership that gives me flexibility, then I might just join for 3 months after the next round, so because I have like that 9-week gap in between. So I guess we'll just wait and see what happens when that time comes. But yeah, I'm looking forward to exercising. Like, I'm looking forward to moving my body again and seeing what I'm capable of. I have quite a strong body, so I can lift quite a lot of weight. I don't tend to... I tend to lose a little bit of body fat when I do start working out, but I build muscle really quickly. So like I was speaking to the chiropractor about today, like basically... every time I try and lose weight, I don't lose much weight around my bum. And for the first time in a really long time, I've lost like most of the centimeters off my glutes in general. So like he said, he was just like, yeah, he's like, you're not lacking in volume. So that was great. Like, it's nice when people notice. And he meant it in a professional sense. But like he said, you just want to start toning now, start getting yourself like stronger slowly, and start with restorative exercise. And that's all he wants me to focus on. So that's what I'm going to do. I'll be starting my next round on the 8th of September-ish, around that weekend. So I'll still be updating you guys all the time. I'll still be posting all the time. I'll be doing my next vlog from Melbourne. So that'll be exciting. I'm going to try and like persuade my sister-in-law to sit in with me. So that might be a bit funny. But either way, I'll be doing it from Melbourne. So that'll be cool, and I'll be able to update you guys on how I'm going with testing while I'm on holidays. I should be about like 5 days into my holiday by then, so should be a good a good measure. And basically this whole break thing for me, like after the holiday I get back, the reason I stretched it out so that I was still trialing until I come back from Melbourne was because I know me personally, and if I was like, yes, I finished this round right before I go to Melbourne, I can go to Melbourne and eat everything that I want, I probably would have done that. So I would have just absolutely delved out. I wouldn't have gone and had takeaway and stuff. I would have still like cooked food, but I would have probably eaten like few too many different things and just freaked my body out. So not going to do that. I want to keep myself accountable, you know, and it helps with you guys as well. A lot of the like women that like inbox me and tell me like that I'm doing great or that I'm inspiring them and stuff, like I feel like that holds me accountable as well, because if I let myself down, I don't only just let myself down, I let everyone else around me that's supporting me, everyone that's putting their time and effort into me, and I'm not just doing it for that. I know that life is a thing and things do happen sometimes, so you just got to do it. But basically it's not a rest period or a break for me. This is a continual maintenance part of my life where I'm going to prove to myself that I can, like, I've lost the 15 kilos and I'm going to maintain it until I start the next round. If I keep losing, I keep losing, so be it. I am not going to complain, but I don't want to go back up. I do not want to go back up, so I'm really going to focus on that and see how I go. So that's basically it. I do have 2 little affirmations for you guys, like I did do in the last vlog. A few of you really liked those, so it was great. Obviously, something that I'm focusing on personally in myself is trying to get my head strong and really realise that I can't give up that easily if something goes wrong. And if I put 100 grams on, well, I put 100 grams on and no one's going to die. So basically, like everyone always says at my work, when there's an issue, did someone die? No. All right, cool. So the problem can be fixed. So that's really great. That wasn't the affirmation, by the way. I'm just going to read out to you guys what I've got here. So it says, don't try to overhaul your life overnight. Instead, focus on making one small change at a time, and over time, those small changes will add up to one big transformation. Don't give up. And like, that's huge to me, because like all I've done is made small changes. Even when I told Jaden today, the chiropractor, that I haven't exercised once, like I've barely even gone for a walk. I felt him stop, like I felt a shift in his body language, and he was like, "You serious?" And I was like, "No." And he's like, "Wow, so like, are you doing the whole like abs are made in the kitchen?" And I was like, "That's actually really funny that you say that, because I'm going to cover off on that tonight in my blog, like I did earlier." And I am a true believer of that. Like, I just can't get over how much my torso area has changed. Like, I'll upload a new photo tomorrow morning. And yeah, like it just freaks me out, like that I've literally gone from like out here to like in here, and I'm still not flat. I don't have abs or anything like that, and I don't even know if I want to have abs, but I'm starting to see the sections of my stomach, and I'm like, holy shit, like I could totally have abs if I wanted to. So I'm really excited to see where my body's going to go and change, like how it's going to change over the next 6 months. Like, I'm really excited to see like where that goes. A lot of people don't understand the whole like transformation thing. They always go, "Oh, so are you like, what are you transforming for? Like, what's your transformation for?" And I'm like, no, like transformation actually means like going beyond your form. So like, if you think about it, it's like we all change in different ways. We all go through our own transformations. We all go through our own journeys. But it's like, do you push yourself beyond your form? Like, and that's what I want to do. Like, I want to, at first, when Tim said to me, "Yeah, you're going to hit 70 kilos. Like, as soon as you hit 70 kilos, like, you know, you can book your surgery and we'll do this and we'll do that." And I said to him, no, like, I'm going to crack like 79. Like, and once I crack 79, like that's closer than I've ever been. So I'll book my surgery then and give myself that last 10 kilos to lose before I go. But now, like, I have 70 in my head because I can see how well I've done and how far I've come, that number is so achievable for me now. Like, I still can't wrap my head around the fact that in 5 more kilos time, like, I've lost 20 kilos. Like, I will have lost 20 kilos. And I just, like, it absolutely shocks me, like, every day. Because I'm, like, every time that those numbers keep going up and up, I'm like, holy shit, like, I'm actually doing this. So, yeah, it's really, really great. And, like, you know, another great thing someone, like, shared with me once about transformation was, like, knowledge and understanding equals wisdom, and wisdom and application equals a transformation. So, like, you gain that wisdom and that knowledge, and you have to apply yourself. Like, if you don't apply yourself, and like my girlfriends and everyone know that I've tried for years to lose weight. I have tried, I have failed numerous times, and it's because I didn't apply myself. I didn't apply myself for me because I wanted it for everyone else. I wanted to, you know, I wanted Tim to be able to walk around and be like, look how hot my girlfriend is, like, you know. And I copped a lot of shit from people in my family over the years, like, you know, even from my own brother. Like, I'm just gonna, you know, name drop, who even cares, like, whatever. But for years, like, I always got, like, you know, teased for being fat or whatever, and it was like, I would lose weight and go there and be like, oh, I can't wait for him to see me, and he would never ever notice. He would never ever say anything, and I'd always be like, you know, like, fuck you, like, you're always quick to, like, pull me out and, like, say something, but you never ever, like, good enough to tell me when I'm doing really well. And, like, his girlfriend always would say something, but, you know, even still now, even though I don't really speak to him, I don't really have a relationship with them, but I'm like, imagine if I was to see him now, he'd probably be like, you're still fat. Like, it probably wouldn't even notice at all. And I don't care about that. I'm so over what people think. I really just couldn't give a shit anymore. I'm doing it for me, and that's it. Like, you know, at the end of the day, basically like a Kim Kardashian double. So booty's not going anywhere, and there's nothing I can do about that. So if I can just work on the rest of it, like, it'll be absolutely fantastic. I'm going to stand up because I want to show you guys exactly where my trouble areas is, because most of you probably don't realize that you probably suffer the same thing if you have a desk job. So there's obviously quite a few things that you can do for that. So I'm going to roll over and stand up, and then I'm probably just going to leave it there, and I'll see you guys next week from Melbourne. Oh. See, I'm literally like a grandma. But basically, so you can see through here, I flatten out quite a lot through here. So if I stand on the side, you can see, and I'm like really full from dinner. But basically what he does is he gets his elbows in here and literally drives them right into my bone, and tries to like loosen up like my, I can't even think of the name now, but basically like, my hip flexors. So like if I try and extend my like leg out to the side, it's so painful. Like I can't even deal with it. But yeah, so basically that is that. I look forward to catching up with you guys from Melbourne. Thank you so much for your time and for tuning in once again. If you have tuned in late and you want to watch it from the start, it will be here for 24 hours. If not, I will link it onto my YouTube. And if you go into my profile, like where all my little blurb is about me on this Instagram page, you can literally click and the link will take you straight to my YouTube channel. So thank you once again. I love you all. You've all been so supportive. Like, my best friend's tuning in every single week. And Mrs. Keefe finally being home to actually be able to watch one live. It means a lot to me. So I will keep you guys updated, and hopefully I won't sound like so much of a frog losing its voice next week. I'm still going to talk the leg off a chair. Everyone knows that, so whatever. Anyway, take care. Have a good week. Look after yourselves, and I'll see you guys in Melbourne. Thanks.